Hey y'all, Iric Guy here, and I want to respond to a question. People are like, should I buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro? And within this video, I want to share a few things that you should know before you choose to buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So for starters, what I want to say is that if you're shopping for the Mini 3 Pro or any of the other drones, you can expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order them online. And we're going to talk about it in more depth here in a moment. But there's several different Mini 3 Pros that you can choose among. Also, if you haven't been a subscriber, please subscribe and ring that bell to be notified when I post new videos. And also check back my older videos. I've been flying drones since Phantom 1. Now, I was a little bit of a late adopter. I started with the Phantom 1 after the Phantom 2 had released, but I've been on almost every drone since. There's a few drones that I skipped because I wasn't personally interested in them. But most of the drones you'll find in my videos. I've got them chunked down by playlist here on my channel, so check them out. So I'm not claiming to be a drone expert, but what I can say is that I've been involved with this highly addictive drone hobby for many, many years. So with that being said, things you should know before you buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So for starters, the top tier DJI Mini 3 Pro offering is the one that comes with this. Now this is called the DJI RC. The beautiful thing about the DJI RC is this beautiful display. Very easy to see in strong sunlight, just a very detailed experience. I mean, when you're flying this, you feel like you're in a virtual cockpit of sorts because the screen is just such good detail. Now there are other controller options, and again, you can expand this video's description and click the link there to find the other controller options. And some of them you just attach your iPhone or your Android phone, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I will say, running an iPhone, I run an iPhone 12 Pro, which is one generation behind, at the time of filming this video, one generation behind the most current iPhone. My iPhone 12 Pro, if I'm flying out in direct sun, the iPhone tends to get hot, and the screen seems to become less bright with time. I haven't experienced that with the DJI RC. Now the DJI RC bundle, as you'll see if you check the link within this video's description, it's a little bit more expensive than the other Mavic 3 Pro controller options. But is it worth it? That's up to you. We all have our own needs. We all have our unique budgets. That is a decision you will have to make. But things you should know before you buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro, obviously there's different controller options. And again, the DJI RC option, that is your premium, that is your top tier option. The second thing to be aware of before you buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro is this is the smallest drone. At the time of filming this video, this is the smallest drone that DJI offers. So there's some potential advantages because this drone is at or around 249 grams. Again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a member of the government, but there are certain countries where having this weight may make it more convenient to fly a drone. Again, check with your local governing officials, blah, blah, blah. But there's certain situations where that 249 grams may be significant. So aside from that, the value add for me for the DJI Mini 3 Pro is something that's smaller, it's lighter. Most importantly, in addition to the ultralight nature, it is rechargeable by way of USB-C, USB Charlie. As you can see in the rear of DJI Mini 3 Pro, it's got a USB-C port, and right beside it, it's got a micro SD for recording video. This camera can do 4K 60 frames per second. Now, something you should know before you buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro is that this camera, although incredible, this camera is an incredible camera, but although incredible, it is a smaller form factor camera than something you would get on, say, a Mavic 3 Pro, the bigger drone, or the previous Mavic Air 2S, or the Mavic 2 Pro with Hasselblad. Those three drones I just mentioned, they have 1-inch sensor cameras. So what does 1-inch sensor mean? Well, it means the camera itself is physically a lot larger than this, but also by having a larger sensor in a camera, where that's advantageous specifically is if you're flying in low light situations. Maybe you're capturing a sunset. Having that larger 1-inch sensor camera is going to provide a better looking video. You know, it's probably gonna have less grain in it. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my Mavic 2 Pro videos and my Mavic Air 2S videos and see for yourself. Check out, and obviously, my Mini 3 Pro videos. I've got them all broken down by video playlist here on my channel, youtube.com/irixguy. But see for yourself the visual difference that a larger 1-inch sensor camera makes. And it may not make a big difference to you. The reality is that a lot of people that are filming with not just this drone, but those larger drones that I just mentioned, a lot of people that are filming with those drones, they're viewing the videos that are captured on an iPhone or an iPad, you know, a small device. They're not necessarily watching it on a 4K smart TV. But if you're watching on a small device, the visual differences among 1-inch sensor cameras and the physically much smaller camera that's on this is probably going to be negligible. I mean, unless you're a videophile, unless you do a lot of video editing like I do, it may be hard to visually discern the differences among those cameras. So, you know, something you should know before buying the DJI Mini 3 Pro is that the camera is physically smaller. But with that being said, this is bleeding edge technology. It's the year 2022, man. And this camera, even though it's physically smaller, this camera could grossly trump the performance of some much larger and previous year camera technologies. So it's still a phenomenal camera. Check out my low light videos that I filmed with my Mini 3 Pro. See for yourself. And again, I'm not trying to say that this smaller camera is going to produce better low light performance than a physically larger camera with a wasp. Whoa. Watch out for that wasp. Than a physically larger camera with, say, a 1-inch sensor camera, but it's still highly convincing, great quality, and depending upon your use case, you may not desire or need a physically larger camera for your drone video captures. So for most people, you're going to find that the DJI Mini 3 Pro at the time of filming this video is the best drone to buy. Just because it's small, it's lightweight, the convenience of being able to be recharged by USB-C, not just the drone, but also the controller, USB recharge. What does that mean? That means, well, you're in a car, you plug it into your USB port and charge it while you're driving around. You're in a boat, an ATV. You're off the grid, you've got a USB battery bank with a solar panel. You're recharging it off of that. Could be a situation, because it's so convenient, you may not even want to buy additional batteries. When you're dealing with the larger drones, even though you can get car chargers for a lot of those batteries, it's still inconvenient. It's not like you can just hook them up to a USB solar battery bank and recharge them in the field. Also, those drones are physically bigger and heavier, and a lot of those, well, all of those I just mentioned, they're over this 249 gram weight. So the size, the weight, the newness of this technology, the overall performance, I mean, you're getting phenomenal FPV, first person view. Check out my videos where I'm flying the Mini 3 Pro and see it in action for yourself. You're getting wasp. There's wasp. There's a wasp. I don't want to get stung, man. Sorry about that, man. The wasp came after me, and then it tried to fly out my gym shorts and sting my crotch. So that was not a good, I avoided the sting, but that could have been bad. But so things you should know before you buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Without a doubt, in my opinion, it is the best drone on the market today. Not because it's the newest, but it's the smallest, it's the lightest, and of the small and the light, it's very capable. With that said, if you didn't want to spend as much as you would for the Mini 3 Pro, you could consider the older DJI Mini 2, which is still a highly capable drone, or the original DJI Mavic Mini. And you can find all those. Just expand this video's description and click the link there. If you're a professional filmmaker or semi-professional filmmaker, it could be advantageous to get the DJI Mavic Air 2S, the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, or the DJI Mavic 3 Pro to get that 1-inch sensor. But unless you're looking for super duper, super professional looking results, you may not even need that. The reality is that most people that film a video with this and post it on, say, YouTube or Facebook, they're probably watching it from a small iPhone or iPad, and your average viewer is probably not going to be able to discern the differences among cameras, whether they're watching a video that was filmed with the Mini 3 Pro or one of the larger drones. your average viewer can probably not discern the difference. So, you know, with that said, you do need to know this is a smaller camera and a smaller sensor, but check out my videos, see the quality for yourself, because I think it's probably going to blow your mind. Another thing to know, again, if you don't want to go the route that I went with the DJI RC, which is what I recommend just because it's such a great experience, and you don't have to tie up your phone while you're flying, and the display is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, it really is. I mean, it knocks my iPhone in the water. I've got the iPhone 12 Pro. So a reliable experience, all on one device, this is the way to go. But there's nothing wrong with considering the other DJI Mini 3 Pro controller options. And again, you can expand this video's description and click the link there and find the various DJI Mini 3 Pro bundles. So the biggest takeaway is that this is a very small, very lightweight, and USB rechargeable drone. It's something, a lot of people say it's a camera that's with you that matters. This is something that's convenient to carry. And even with the controller, it's still small. It's still lightweight. You know, this is very convenient to travel with. And because of the USB recharge nature, and the battery life on this thing's phenomenal, even with the standard battery. Now, there is an upgraded capacity battery that you can choose to purchase, and it is worth mentioning. It would kick it over the 249 grams. But the battery life of this standard battery is phenomenal in my opinion. Actually, it's so good that when I travel, unless I know that I'm going to need to film a lot of videos back to back, it's so good that a lot of times I'll just take the one battery, and then if I'm traveling between filming locations, I can charge it. There's the wasp. There's the wasp, man. It's coming back. I can charge it between filming locations using USB in my car. So there's a lot of value add that USB recharge capability brings to the table. So this is not a compromise. You know, I don't want to say that the smaller and lighter drone's a compromise, but if you want that super duper, just, you got these video snobs watching your videos, it's like, he didn't use a 1-inch sensor. If that's your target audience, then you need to go with a different drone. But if you're capturing videos and just ultimately just having a drone that's fun to fly, the Mini 3 Pro is the way to go in today's market. But again, if you don't want to spend for the Mini 3 Pro, check out the older models. The Mini 2, the DJI Mavic Mini. Those are both great drones. So I'm not sitting here trying to steer you in one direction or the other. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my thousands of drone videos. Again, I've been flying drones since Phantom 1. And I can tell you, since I've been flying drones since Phantom 1, and check out some older videos and hear me say it, I want a smaller and lighter drone. That was a recurring theme throughout the Phantom days. I wanted a smaller and lighter drone, and I was devastated when DJI unveiled the Inspire. It's too big, it's too heavy. The Inspire is too big and it's too heavy. And for a moment, I felt that DJI was going to go bigger and heavier, and I didn't want that. I wanted a smaller and lighter drone. And DJI has not only delivered 3 times, but the 3rd time that they've delivered a smaller and lighter drone, this thing is incredible. The only thing that I could ask for, even though this camera does an exceptional job, watch my videos and see for yourself, the only thing that I could ask for is a model that somehow incorporates a 1-inch sensor camera. Can you imagine a 1-inch sensor camera on a drone that's 249 grams or less? That's fascinating. Tell me what you think within the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe. And when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. And again, if you haven't been a subscriber for a while, subscribe and check out my old videos. Watch my videos from Phantom 1 through present. Present at the time of this video being the Mini 3 Pro. Appreciate your viewership. And if you have any questions, comment below, and I'll try to respond to those questions within upcoming videos. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.